This is a book review of Jeff Hawke by Sydney Jordan. Now, this is a French version. This is so it's always through it's French. There's no English, so which is actually relatively easy to read. I mean, it's not, and also, of course, there's translators, so you can always quickly check up a word or two. You think, oh, I don't know what that is, and also, if you're learning French, of course, or trying to learn French, this is quite useful to read here. So you can just go through it, and this is a great way, I think, of learning French. I used to do that with learning German and Spanish and other languages. So it's always getting these books and then you sort of read it. Now, of course, your French skills or whatever end up being all comic based. Or very rare would you have to involve yourself talking about alien civilizations, particularly in normal conversation. Right. This book came out in 1980 and it's got about 80 pages. It's the reproduction is fine. It's a very, very crisp reproduction. Now, there's 3 stories in total. I'm just going to quickly say those, and that's Here Be Tigers, Shorty's Secret, and Rescue Party. So you've got the story. Now, this one is involving an alien civilization that comes to have a chat with us, is the best way of describing it. I think an unusual alien civilization it is. The next story, which actually was more enjoyable, and this one is slightly odd, it's Shorty's Secret. Now, I could not work out why it was called that, but I mean, it's a pretty decent story. The action's pretty good all the way through, and it's got some interesting characters like Lilith. So you've got Eve and everything. And of course, just got giving it away a bit, showing the Saturn. Now, I think a better title would have been City of the Rings, or they mentioned that a few times through the book. So it would have made much more sense to call it, obviously, they're on Titan or some other moon of Saturn, as far as I could work out. It's quite an action-packed story, as much as you can ever do action-packed stories in these ones. There is a certain element of softcore erotic, I would say, is the best description. It's not particularly much, but there is a bit of nudity in this. The action, I say, it's unfortunate because, of course, you get these every day. This would be like Daily Express. So you get Daily Express and you'd get a strip, and then, of course, you have to wait the next day. So you really can't do much in terms of explosive action across the page. You are limited to the size of the strip. And 3 panels, most cases. Now, I think there's a couple where, weirdly, there's one here, 2. So there's only 2 panels, this one, where you've got this sort of, obviously, heading towards this door there. Well, the last story, it's sort of involving an Egyptian theme, an alien. Of course, this is a rescue party, it's called, and, yes, that's what they do. So it's fine. I just put the show bit of the story. There's a bit of the story. Rescue party. And I found it fine. But the best story is definitely the second one. But I thoroughly enjoyed the Jeff Hawke ones that I've read. So I'm looking forward to hopefully getting a few more volumes from France. The only trouble is when you, of course, go that sort of route, it's very hard always to find the information about what is in the book. That's one thing. Quite often they just put Jeff Hawke. And of course, some of these books, is there an index out available to find out what's in these different volumes? So you really are sort of taking pot luck that you're going to get some stories that you haven't had before, read before, etc. Maybe even better option would be to get the old copies of the Express. But even better would be, obviously, Titan Books brought out, and there's about 7,000 apparently strips, 7,000 of these strips, and so few are being printed in the UK. It would be great to see all of them. I mean, you would imagine 7,000, you're talking, a quick bit of maths, you're talking probably 2,000, say you could 2,000 strips in each volume. Now, you've got quite a few on each page, 2,000, so that would divide by 400 pages. You could do a 400-page book. You could do 3 volumes of 400 pages and would include the entire lot. I would have thought that would be a very popular book to bring out. 3 volumes of Jeff Hawke, but however, clearly hasn't happened. It would be nice if it did, and which is a pity because I think these stories are really good, and it would be obviously nicer and easier if they were in English. Now, that would be definitely a benefit. Obviously, even better would be if the original strips were really super sharp. I love good quality reproduction. So, Jeff Hawke, didn't actually say it. Oh, there is nothing on the spine there. So, Jeff Hawke, thoroughly enjoyable. I say, unfortunately, it's in French, so Totally recommended.